Hey everybody, how's it going? Hope everything's doing well for you. Alright, today's project for the little Jeepster. We are going to make a way to store the tools. I have a little small ammo box currently that is, I stuff it under my back seat when I have my back seat in. Or when I take my back seat out, I stuff the little ammo box underneath the one of the driver's or passenger side seats. And it rattles around, it slides around, all this kind of crazy mess. And it's just, I'm not really a big fan of having my tools out in the open where somebody can walk by and say, hey, looky, there's some tools, let's get them. Or there's an ammo box, what's in it, and walk off with my box. So, if you guys watched my other videos, you know that my Jeep is a soft top. It's a full soft door, so locking anything is not an option, with the exception of, if you check out my video where I made the hood lock for my Jeep, that may give you a clue what I'm about to do. I'm going to make all this right here, I'm going to make me a little way to store the tools, but it's going to go under my hood. So when I lock my hood down, all my tools are safe. The beauty of this right here is it's cheap. This sewer pipe right here, you can use regular PVC if you want. Totally up to you. This right here is a sewer pipe, and this stuff's about $1 a foot. That's a 10-foot section right there. It's a 10-foot piece, and depending how long you make them, you can make several little tool storage compartments. This cap right here was like $2. This right here was like $2, and that was like $2 or something like that at Lowe's. And the glue I already had here, but if you need to buy some, I think it's somewhere right around $5 or so. But I've had that around here for a while. So our next step is we're going to have to figure out where we want it. Let me show you how to do that. Okay, here's actually where I'm going to put it. This is where the jack comes from the factory on the Jeeps. This is where the jack is stored at. I never use it, it's just there. That's all it is. These little finger thingies right here, I'm cutting them out. And the way I'm doing that, don't know if the camera's going to pick it up or not, but if you look real close, there are spot welds there and there on both sides. I'm going to give me a drill bit, drill those spot welds out, and that will just make this right here become loose and pull this right here right off, leaving for this to sit down inside the saddles like this. Then I've got some straps I'm going to run under this right here, around to cinch it down with. Pretty straight and simple. Now, that's where I'm putting it. Now, because it's going to be under my hood, where I've got my little hood lock here that I made. But other options, check this out. Now for some other mounting options, check it out. You can take this, you can get back there in here underneath the roll bar here. It'll drop right side there till it hits that angle. This is where, go here, the roll bar comes down, meets the tub. So here's the padding for the roll bar. It comes down, meets the tub. You can make a little short one. It'll stop about right along in here or so, because you want room to be able to pull it out and have the top up in here to also. Or another option would be make it long enough that you can tuck it in like this. This is where the sport bar goes down. Tucks it behind here. You tuck it underneath there. But the problem with this is my top, which is the best top. If you noticed on that side, see how that bar right there drops down? That's from my top when it's folded down. That was, to me, is an interference to where that won't work for mine. But I mean, if you're running a hard top or something like that, that's an option for you. Go for it. Or you can always, if you really get froggy. I'm losing mine all the way out here if you want to. It's totally up to you. Whatever options you want to come up with. The beauty of it all, it is versatile because you can make it whatever length you want and put it wherever you want. Stuff it under your seats if you like, which I got enough junk underneath there. You can stuff them back in behind here. I mean, it's your options. You make it where you want it. Me, I want it up underneath here on this because I'm going to try to make it secure because of my hood lock. So, alright, next option. Okay, we got to look to see about where this is going to stop at. Alright, so we got plenty of clearance there. What we need to do is take our tape measure and look at the depth of the cap too. So here's the lip where the cap stops. So you look from there, which is about where this right here is. Yeah, pretty close. So you're looking at about another inch there. This will you got to take this into account too. So with that being said, we're going to take the tape measure, stretch it out here, and if you look at the end of the tape, it's going to stop right next to the fuse box. Just in case I ever put my top back on it, which find another one because that one broke. Give a little room for that. Comes out, and I'm looking at about, I think I'm going to make it about 20 inches long. I'm going to cut the tubing at 20 inches, which will give me, a couple few inches there. You see the 20, then you got 21, 22 before it gets into the headlight bucket, which will give me room for that right there. So I'm going to cut my tube at 20 inches. Okay, before you go cut the drain pipe or the tube, whatever you want to call it, notice one end of it is belled out. That's because you take the drain pipe and you daisy chain them together. You take, that end way down there of your next tube slides up inside that end. That end right there will not fit those adapters that I just showed you a moment ago. So this end right here is actually going to be scrapped for this project. So we go way down here at this end. Notice constant diameter. At this point, what we're going to do, 20 inches, which is right there, and I'm going to take me a pencil. I'm going to make a mark right there. So I'm going to mark it right there, and I'm going to take the hacksaw and cut that off. One thing you can use like a regular hacksaw, or you can use a rough cut saw for like wood. It rips right through these things. I've got it loaned out at the moment, so I'm just going to use my hacksaw to hack through this. So let me get this cut. Be right back with you. Alright, got my pipe cut. Obviously it's sitting on top of those little fingers. It's sitting on top of those fingers where I haven't cut those out yet. But you get an idea how it's going to sit. So it's sitting like this right here. And it'll stop it right along there. You notice my jack leg cut there, where it's kind of crooked, but it does not matter. And so that's going to fit just fine. So what we got to do next, we got to glue these to the end of it. So let's go back and I'll get my glue and we'll go do just that. Okay, here's the finished end, and what we're going to do, we're going to put this cap right here, where it's one that's got the screw in cap, we're going to put that on here. I'll get my glue opened up. And what you want to do is take your glue, make sure everything, the parts are pretty clean. It ain't got to be totally spotless. Now, if it were pressure pipe, feeding water into your house or something like that, yes, you definitely want it totally clean. This, I am not going to stress over how clean it is. So just take this right here and wrap a couple, build you a bunch of it up in there. Then we're going to take this and just kind of twist it as it goes on, because then it spreads that glue inside there really well. You see how it smooshed up there real well, and you can smell that acetone smell big time where it's melting all that plastic together. So we're just going to kind of let that sit up there for a moment, and while we're at it, let's go ahead and glue that in though. And again, make sure it's pretty clean. It ain't got to be spotless. Not for this purpose, because it's not under any pressure. Now, if you don't have the actual PVC glue or something like that, you can use some good heavy-duty craft glue to bond this plastic together really well. Up there. See, I kind of pushed it, squeezed, and rotated as I pushed it on. So, pick the camera up here. And there's what we got. Let me turn it around. Little vessel right there that's pretty much totally waterproof. And what we do, here's the cap. I'm going to set the stand down here. Set the camera down the stand. You put all your tools or your toe straps or your snatch strap or whatever you want to put in there. It don't matter. Take and screw that right there in, and you've got a watertight vessel for putting your tools or whatever you want into it, basically. Now how you finish is totally up to you. If you want to paint it, go for it. If you want to leave it raw, go for it. What I'm going to do, I'm going to wipe it down a little bit. I'm going to take some of that coating you see put on my grill, and I'll show you that video too. It's that truck bed lining. I'm going to spray this whole thing with that truck bed liner. So, be back with you in a moment. Okay, you can see I kind of got it dropped over this little piece of 2x4 right here. And I'm just going to simply take the stuff and spray it. Give it a good heavy coating. That'll make it look a little better than just raw PVC pipe. But I'm using this truck bed coating that I get from Harbor Freight. But if you want to paint it and to be all nice and pretty, that's totally your option. So I'm going to go ahead and throw a couple of coats on this thing, and I'll see you again in a bit. Alright, here's the lid. What I did with the threads right here, you don't want that coating stuff inside the threads. So I took some electrician tape and just wrapped around that right there. Couldn't find any paper tape. Well, first thing I found was electrician tape, so I just wrapped it with that. To tape off the threads, and I shot that coating on top of that. And there's the tube, all painted up. It's already been officially christened by the birds. See? Darn birds. Anyway, next thing I need to do, get my drill bit and drill out those spot welds. Get these little finger looking things off. Be right back. Okay, you can see where I took the drill and drilled out the spot welds. There's the holes where the spot welds used to be. You can also see where I had to take this finger right here, and I grabbed it with the pair of channel locks, move it back out of the way because I couldn't get the drill bit in there. But that was sitting in there like that. Drill out the spot welds, boom, boom. You got a place to set the tube. Alright, let me clean this stuff right here off. Be right back. Got the shavings cleaned off, and what I'm using here is, see this little cam buckle style strap thing here? That's what I'm going to use. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to feed it through here. With the buckle right there. Then we take the tube, and you see I got a little white ring, which I got to touch that right there up. I need to tape off the threads inside there and shoot the rest of it. I ain't going to worry about it at the moment. Then you take your tube. It sits right inside this pocket between this saddle, that little tang, and this little thing right here. And see the strap goes around it. Clear the fuse block back here. It's all you got till you're almost in the headlight bucket up here. So that's the maximum length right there to make you a little storage tube to chill out up here. So now, let me set it back in place. I'm going to take this buckle here, run this through. Cinch it down good and tight. And then what I'll have to do is I'm gonna make sure this buckle stays on this side over here, away from the motor over here. Then I'm gonna trim this right here back, shorten it down, so no chance of this loose, all this big loose end get caught up in the fan belt over there. That would be very bad. But anyway, there you go. If you had the cover over top of your fuse block here, you got plenty of clearance there. Pretty tight up here, but you got clearance. Your clearance in here, of course, it's below this bar right here. It's inside this line here, so it's going to clear your hood just fine. Pretty steady. Try to pull it around, it's not moving. So there you go, a little storage tube, hang out under your Jeep. And if you check out my other video, like I mentioned earlier, make your hood lock. Stuff this right here full of tools. Lock it down underneath your hood. And you got storage for your tools. It's going to be secure. For the people who are OCD about a rattle or two, trust me, I've got a metal ammo can inside my Jeep, stuffed under my back seat, or sometimes it's under my front seat, depending on whether I got the back seat in my Jeep or not. It doesn't rattle. If it does, it's not a whole lot. But if you're OCD about a rattle, just have at it. What you can do is take your tools, wrap them up in some rags, some more raggedy t-shirts or something. And what they'll give you is a little anti-rattle, I guess, and they'll also give you a way to wipe your hands clean if you'd have to do some wrenching. So I'm gonna, like I said, I'm gonna cut this right here off to shorten it down so it doesn't get into the fan, and that's pretty much the project for the moment. So tool storage, whatever you want to stuff in it. You can see right there I trimmed it back a little bit and I almost felt like I cut it too short, but I can deal with it, not a problem. Alright everybody, if you like my video, give me a thumbs up. If you like that idea, definitely give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't, share it out, Facebook, Twitter, your YouTube channel, whatever, it doesn't matter. Please share it out, spread the knowledge. It helps everybody that way. I've had some great feedback, great comments, great questions even lately. I really appreciate that. So everyone, I thank you for everything you've been doing, all your subscribes and feeds and all this. So I'm going to stuff this thing full of tools now. Everyone, have a great night. It's starting to get dark out here. Anyway, everybody, have a great evening. Peace out. See y'all.